Minority Leader Senator Alan Cayetano is recognized.
Mr. President, before the amendments, may I just manifest in behalf of the minority, and of course we hope the majority will adopt that the process we are now adopting will not be a precedent sa pag-amend because actually sa period of amendment usually dapat accepted or not and then may botohan. But of course, extraordinary times, we want to make sure that maganda yung proseso, sistema. It's not only the end result, the process is important. So yung transparency. And we do not want a reenacted budget given the time frame. So how do I put it? This is the best that we can do for this year. And hopefully next year, the chairman will again come up with innovative processes and devices to make sure that effective pero transparent din yung budget. So I just wanted to make sure na this is not a precedent for other bills, especially if the bills are not 1,000, 1,500 pages. Secondly, we still expect a clean copy, the same manner that we expected a clean session hall despite the fact na nagkaroon ng sunog and buti na lang po minimal yung damage. But of course, we will accept a summary. Ang point lang naman is that klaro ko anong pinagbobotohan natin, Mr. Chair, if that's acceptable. It's a manifestation, but it's together with the appreciation for all the hard work that Chair Gatchalian has been doing.
Thank you to our minority leader. Tama ho kayo. This is in response to the call for transparency at first time ho ginawa natin to on plenary at kaya ho may mga bagay na we're still adjusting to and we're open to suggestions from the members, especially to our minority leader who's naging speaker siya at naging member of the Senate, so marami siyang experience pagdating sa ganito. So we're very open to coming up with more innovative processes. At papasalamat, you brought this up, papasalamat din po ako sa ating Senate President dahil kala ko hindi matutuloy today dahil nga nagkaroon ng aksidente kahapon. At today is a holiday actually in Pasay. So I'd like to thank the body that despite the holiday, we came in to present our amendments and move forward with the budget. So maraming salamat, Minority Leader.
Thank you. In that sense, Mr. President, hindi perpekto yung sistema kasi kung lahat ng gusto natin ng 24 senador, lahat ng amendments, hindi talaga tayo matatapos kasi this is more than 500, 600 pages. All of us want certain special provisions. So I guess we all self-governance, no? We're all imposing upon ourselves to limit the broad strokes, and then like personally, I'd like the chairman to consider. I think 6-7 lang naman agencies ako nag-interpellate pero may mga suggestions doon. It's on the record naman. At yung iba doon tinulak naman ng ibang senador, so to consider that. And then some of us of course wrote a letter to the chairman, so consider. But let me go to the main point. Sir President, I remember parati natin binabanggit na with great power comes great responsibility. And we all agree with that, no? In the same manner, pag may crisis, may opportunity talaga. So yes, the outrage is there. I don't know how to say it na hindi nagmumura sa nangyari sa ating bansa. Hindi lang sa corruption pero sa ghost projects and how did we get here, di ba? We all ask that. But with that outrage, it's not a simple call to do one or two things, di ba? Hindi lang ibalik ang pera, hindi lang ikulong ang corrupt. Kasama din diyan yung tunay na pagbabago, transformation, di ba? Change that leads to real transformation. So every single budget has to have a vision. And for example, sa DPWH, nag-start yung vision kay Duterte, build, build, build. Kay President Marcos, build better, more, no? So the point I want to make is that dahil napaka-extraordinary ng circumstance, ng atmosphere, ng problema, dapat game changer din yung budget. Again, hindi tayo matatapos kung isa-isahin natin at I want to acknowledge si Chairman Win mismo may mga innovations na gusto, but as he said, may limitations, whether by law, whether by practice, whether by fiscal space, no? So I want to mention 3 areas that I think are game changers. And if we look at the past, di ba? It is only humbling if we listen. If we look at the past, and sabi nga ni Einstein, just keep doing the same thing, insanity yon. If we keep doing the same thing, then expect a different result, insanity yon, di ba? So kung sasabihin natin, dati may corruption, ngayon lumaki. Kasi if we keep doing the same thing, di lalong lalaki at mangyayari talaga ito. So, for example, Mr. President, no, Mr. President, can I show some slides? 4 lang naman to, no, Mr. President, with your permission, Mr. Chairman, no. So, I think apektado din nung tubig. So what the slide will show actually is the population density, people per square, inhabitants per square kilometer in accordance with the 2020 census. Makikita nyo po yung NCR, 21,765. Ang pinakamalapit na is Region 4A, 977 lang. So can you imagine that? From 21,000 inhabitants per square kilometer to 977. Then the third is Region 3, it's 567. And then ang pinakamalit is CAR, 1991. Ayan yung chart, no? So the point I want to make here, Mr. Chair, is that one of the root of our problems is rapid urbanization. Di ba? Yung lumilipat lahat. Can I show the next slide? So makikita nyo po, napakaliit na lugar, Region 3, Metro Manila, Calabarzon, compared to the whole area of the Philippines, 39% of our population, nandyan lang sa maliit na lugar na yan. So whether you talk about health, whether you talk about sanitation, water, electricity, traffic, yan ang isang cause. So kahit anong gawa mo pa ng kalye dyan, trains are better, pero kahit gumawa ka ng train, kahit anong flood control mo, if we continue doing this, hindi magbabago. Which goes to the second game changer. So the first game changer is rural development. Diba? Rural development ang gamit nila before. Let me just use that term. Very simple. Tubig, kuryente, internet, schools, and hospitals. Of course, jobs. If you have those 5 things plus jobs in the rural areas, hindi lahat magsisiksikan sa Metro Cebu, Metro Manila, Calabarzon, Bulacan, sa mga highly urbanized cities, di ba? So sa Europe, pag sinabi mong rural, may kuryente, may tubig, may internet, may ecotourism, may agritourism, etc. So it's a choice. Do you want the crowded city or you want the rural? Sa Pilipinas, pag sinabi mong urban, mayaman, may libreng gamot dyan, may scholarships dyan, aircon yung ibang schools. Pero pag rural, kahirapan. So we have to change that. So which goes to my second point. The local government have shown themselves, and I recognize the representatives that are here today, di ba? The mayors, the governors, hanggang sa barangay captains. Hindi naman sa walang corrupt sa local government. Pero kung yung pera ng flood control napunta sa local government, malabong magkaroon ng ghost o malabong ganong kalaki yung ghost. Pangalawa, malabong magkaroon ng mismatch sa gagastusan sa pangangailangan. Yes, may pamumulitika ka whether it's on the national local government, but the reality is mas alam ng local government yung kanilang kailangan. So that's the second area na may malaki akong propose na amendment. And the third area is stunting o yung pagkabansot, di ba? Kasi kahit maayos natin ang pinakamagandang budget, libre lahat ng education from kindergarten to college, kung stunted na hindi lang yung growth but yung mental, may mental stunting na, wala na siyang gagawin sa scholarship sa college. Eh. Ganon din sa health. You can have the best health system, anti-cancer, lahat ng pinakamagagandang ospital, tertiary. Pero kung stunted na yung bata, limited na yung pwede niyang gawin. No? So the first, can I go to the next slide? So the first amendment, Mr. President, is dun sa 200 plus billion plus the 50 billion na tinanggal ng House at saka ng Senate sa DPWH. Idiretso na natin sa mga provinces, cities, and municipalities. If we give 1 billion per province, that's 82 billion. 500 million for the 149 highly urbanized cities, and 50 million for the 1,500, a little bit over, municipalities. That's only 231 billion. May matitira pa na 7 billion. So I know this is a radical proposal, but it also is a game changer. So I do know, Mr. Chairman, that we have allocated the 300 billion. No? The House has really allocated the 260 ba? 255?
Mga 140.
But since we are only considering it, may I submit this to the chairman for the consideration of the committee? If not this year, I'm hoping this year, but if not, we will consider it in the future, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Alan. At napag-usapan ho natin to during the plenary debate, especially the stunting. And you've been very consistent. Lahat po ng agency na pwedeng magresolba ng stunting ay pinapaalala ninyo na dapat ito ay bigyan ng pansin. No? Dahil tama kayo, kasi pag lumampas po sila ng 4 years old, 5 years old, stunted sila, mas mahihirapan na sila mag-aral. So I really appreciate your efforts in solving this. In fact, this is an EDCOM proposal to resolve our malnutrition and stunting issue. So your proposal are deemed submitted for the consideration of the body, and we will definitely look at this very seriously.
Thanks for the acknowledgement. I appreciate it, Mr. Chair. But actually, pare-pareho naman tayong spokesman lang dito. No?
Yeah.
May mga NGOs talaga at saka
Tama
mga
ho kayo.
champions who've been fighting for it for such a long time. I think Senator Pia has a list of those health advocates. But you know, it's a privilege to be able to push for it. And I must admit that sa daming chairman ng appropriations sa House at sa Finance, no, you've really given me the full attention on this issue. So I have smaller amendments there. I think Senator Pia is standing. May I?
Yes.
I will yield. Sandali.
If with the permission of the two gentlemen, just two very quick items to add to the discussion. Regarding the population density that Senator Alan showed us, just to put on record that following the Sustainable Development Goals, the data tells us that by the year 2050, two-thirds of the population will be living in cities. So I go back to your proposal, and as His Honor had said, he defers to the chairman when and how much time it will be needed to take a look at these numbers, to consider these things, because two-thirds of the population. So in as much as we want to support everyone from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, all over, but two-thirds of the population by 2050, and currently 55% are said to be living in the major cities. So it's not just NCR, it's the major cities all over the country. That's my first point. My second point regarding stunting, I just want to inform His Honor, because I also support the issue on stunting. Stunted growth is largely irreversible after the first 1,000 days. So the first 1,000 days is so important. And for the information of the body, uunahan ko na si Chairman, he supported our amendment. It is also his amendment, so there's many of us who support it. The Chairman added 900 million to, I think, practically double the amount that is given to mothers in the first 1,000 days. From 350 pesos, it's just 350 pesos a month. So if you wonder why are they stunted,
Yeah.
I don't really know that you can seriously affect stunting with 350 pesos a day. That's 10 pesos a day. So, but now with this additional funding, it will grow to 750 pesos a day. Inunahan na kita, Mr.
1KD.
Chairman.
I think the program is called 1KD. F1KD.
Yes.
Yeah.
Under Pantawid Pamilya pa rin yan.
So, Mr. Chairman, quick slides lang sa stunting. Can you go to the first slide? So, pag tinig natin prevalence, meaning hindi lang ito yung potential, ito talaga yung nangyayari. It's higher than 25%. It's 27%. At yun ang sinabi ng DOH at saka ng mga official, no? Pero meron kaming interactive map na web-based. Hindi ko na papakita today because of lack of time, but it's really higher than 27%. Having said that, that's 1 out of 4 of Filipinos, di ba? So are we willing that 20 years from now, 30 years from now, di ba? So kung 0 to 1,000, di ba? Yung ngayon, the next 3 years, are we willing that 18 years from now, 21 years from now, yung young adults natin, 1 out of 4 of them cannot reach their full potential because of this? Next slide. So the proposal sa amendments, Mr. Chairman, as Senator P has said, as all the experts have said, as you yourself has said, di ba, na you're willing to, Sec Sani has also said, Sec Rex, you're willing to put money, you're willing to spend, pero kailangan effective. So hindi natin propose wild amounts of 50 billion, 100 billion, kung hindi natin sure, no? Pero sa mga lugar na to, BARM, Soc-Sargent, Zamboanga Peninsula, Mimaropa, and Davao Region. Davao lang yung below 30, pero more or less nasa 30. I'd like to propose yung hindi na pondohan sa DOH na 2.4 billion, ay lagyan ng amount, but because nga of certain doubts on the effectivity of DOH doing it alone, let's say if you put 3 billion, I'd rather that 1 billion be in LGSF, 1 billion be in DSWD, 1 billion in DOH, or if it's 3 billion, if it's 1.5 billion, dating 500 million, one program pa rin, pero different yung sources ng pagkukunan. Maganda sa LGSF, mahigpit yung guidelines, tapos yung mayor ang diretsong governor o kukuha, di ba? Ang maganda naman sa DSWD, medyo kuwang-kuha na ni Secrex yung whether it's sa AIX, di ba? Kasi, I mean, I don't know officially now, but we should consider those in danger of stunting to be in crisis, di ba? So, that's one amendment. Just one last slide there, then I'll move on. Ano yung last slide dyan? So, yung yes, 0 to 5 years old, pero makikita mo yung dalawang 0 to 5 years old, tapos pinaka-importante, first 1,000 days. Dalawang nakikita ko sa chart na to, ano? Yung pagka nabuntis na. So, as soon as, well, sana alam niya na kagad, nabuntis siya, because the sooner na alam niya buntis siya and she goes to the health center and may prenatal and everything, di ba? Mas alaga yung nanay at mas alaga yung anak. So, but makikita mo, 0 to 5 years old, 23%. So, 0 to 5 months, 15%. Half of the, yung danger na 30%. But makikita mo, from 6 to 11 months, bumababa nga eh. So, mukhang yung ating barangay health workers, yung ating nutrition scholars, yung ating barangay, yung DOH, at saka yung mga cities, municipalities, yung health centers are doing their job. But pagdating sa 1 to 2 years old, 30% biglang tumataas. So nutrition is the major factor there. May I ask quickly lang, more or less, magkano ang AIX at saka tupad?
To be exact, 20, AX, 27 plus, tupad. 27. Ang tupad? 10. Tupad. So 27. Ang, sa AX po, it's 27 billion. Ang tupad po is 10 billion.
So more or less 40 billion, no?
30, yeah, more or
Yeah.
less.
Because sa LEDAC, I'm not sure, please correct me, I think you were there, Mr. Chair, when we had one LEDAC and Senator JV was really pushing for a 3,000 per month para sa barangay health workers.
Yes, I remember.
And ang total is somewhere 9B. The DBM promised us, or the NEDA promised us na titignan nila yung AIX at tupad kasi ang tingin nila, a part of AIX tupad already goes to barangay health workers because volunteers sila. So,
volunteer category.
please consider a special provision that 20% ng tupad at AIX goes to barangay health workers. That will fulfill 8 of the 9 billion. May monthly na sila. And with the monthly, it's still very small, 3 billion, di ba? Ang isang concern ng executive department dito is that ang daming volunteers sa barangay, hindi ba lahat ng volunteers will be asking for sweldo? But when I dug deeper into the stunting, ang kaibahan naman kasi, for example, Tanod, mostly volunteer. Of course, peace and order is important. Pero may swelduhan tayong police. May swelduhan tayong NBI. May swelduhan tayo sa mga munisipyo na poso, di ba? Pero sa grassroots level, walang swelduhan pagdating sa nutrition at saka sa pagtitimbang sa mga bata, pag-i-inform sa mga nanay, etc. No? And as a former mayor, and there are several former executive, Senator Jinggoy, Senator JV were former mayors. Senator Soto, our Senate President, was a former vice mayor. I was a former vice mayor. Sila talagang nasa grassroots eh. So I think kung bibigyan talaga natin minimum allowance pero kung pwede nga sweldo, I think it will magkakadent talaga sa stunting.
Yeah.
So may I ask you to consider those two amendments. No? One, yung to have part of AIX and TUPAD so that it's not a new product, not a new program.
Yeah.
So either we increase TUPAD by another 9 billion and it goes to the health workers, or 20% of the existing is to the health workers. No? So the other amendment is yung magkaroon ng pondo, DOH, LGSF, DSWD, maybe sa LGSF pwedeng konting equipment din para sa barangay health workers kung kulang sila sa mga modern equipment para magbahay-bahay, lalo po sa mga pregnant.